Hello, Hateless Gaming here, bringing you a quite simple guide on D2. Today we're going to talk about the Magic Find Sorceress. We're going to do a Blizzard build to farm Mephisto. It's a really easy thing to do that any of you guys can do and start your magic finding journey in Diablo 2 or getting your initial gear as a new player. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on in. I have here my Magic Find Sorceress. I've found a couple pieces of gear already, but we'll go ahead and go over the skill selection first. I'll hit T. And we're a Cold Blizzard Sorc, so ideally you would want to aim this at level 17, so it's minus 100. So whatever your plus skills are, this will be 17 ideally, but getting it around 17 is good enough. You're going to max Blizzard. You're gonna max Glacial Spike, and then Ice Blast and Ice Bolt. That in that order. So you get this to 17, Blizzard, Glacial Spike, Ice Blast, and Ice Bolt. Really simple stuff. Glacial Spike is your secondary skill. It's the one that you use to slow enemies. You also want to make sure that you get 1 point into Teleport. You can decide to do ES Shield. I also like to put a point into Static Field. This gives you the ability to static the boss, making things easily. For fire skills, we also put 1 point into Warmth. This gives us faster mana regeneration and thus requiring us to use less mana. That's the skills. On the character menu, we have enough strength to wear our gear. I dumped 70 into strength, or 60. I dumped strength to 65, and then I put the rest into vitality. That's it. You just dump everything into vitality as best as you can. Later, when you get a better gear, you can respec later. But you want as much vitality as you can get, as if you get enough, you'll be able to survive a hit or two. And next, we get into the gear. So this is just a random piece of MF gloves I found, a random MF boot, a resistance amulet, which gives my resistance positive, meaning that I have a much better top. Raven Frost, which I found, a Nagel Ring, which I found, a Gold Wrap, which I found, a Lore, which I spelt, and then I found a Skin of the Viper Magi. However, I don't know if I have one. A Stealth or a Smoke would be a really good option to wear on the side, if that makes sense. So if you spell Stealth, you get FCR and FHR. It's really helpful. Having a little bit of FCR and faster hit recovery will do a lot of good, and Stealth gives most of that. Other breakpoints to consider are your casting breakpoints. Getting 65 faster cast rate, I believe, is the breakpoint. So I'm literally 1% shy of the next breakpoint of FCR. I thought I had it. I guess I don't. I believe I have a caster ring somewhere. I'm not sure where it is, but it looks like I'm shy on the breakpoint. I believe it's 65 FCR. Gives you better, faster cast rate. So I'm 1 shy. So even with less than ideal, we're going to go ahead and show this. But faster cast rate and faster hit recovery means you'll be more likely to get out of situations where you get stuck doing damage, or stuck taking damage. It's really bad to take a lot of damage. Anyways, for the run, it's really easy. Oh, we also spell Rhyme. Rhyme's a shield that's really easy to spell. It gives you a little bit of MF and some gold find, and gives you 25 resist, which is awesome. And since we're not going max block, the first 2 stats don't matter, and you can shop a random shield in Act 2 normal to grab a Rhyme shield, and it's Shell S. You'll find a shell floating around. But anyways, the gear is not what's important about this build. It's a Blizzard Sorc, and I'm going to show you how to farm Mephisto. You get yourself to Hell, you get yourself to Act 4. I haven't even done Act 4 yet on this character. Go Durance of Hate. And you're going to kind of open up the area here. And you want to go left of the entrance. So if the entrance is going up and down this way, I want to go to the left, which will be over that way. If it was facing down and the entrance was right here, we would want to go to the left, which if we turn our head and think about it for a second, it's actually going to be to the right. So it's left of the waypoint. And then if you run across the entrance to level 1, you're going to go straight across from its entrance. And you're kind of reading the tile here to see where you came in. So if you came in here, we're going to the left of this, so we want to go up in this direction to find the Durance waypoint. And this is a live run. It's not pre-recorded, so we're just going to go ahead and look for it. And just like that, we found it right away. And sometimes it's not obviously left, so you'll end up teleporting for a little while, but you just kind of follow the left wall, and you'll find the Durance of Hate level 3. Once you get there, This is a scary room. If you have low gear or less than ideal gear, this room can be terrifying, and I understand. But there's a trick to it. We call it the Moat Trick. And if you come up here and follow this wall up till you get to this weapon rack, and then cut across, touch Mephisto, and this is where I like to static him, because I have enough health to take a couple hits, so I knocked some health off of him. I'm going to lure him down to the moat, and we're just going to teleport across. Then we're going to hang out right here. And when we're sitting right here, I know my face is in the way. Mephisto's up there behind my face on the screen. I can see his health. Maffer Dragonhand likes to hang out right here, and there's another council member that's asleep over here. As long as we stay in kind of this area, we won't wake anybody up, and we can dodge Mephisto's attacks if he decides to attack us, and we can just blizzard him to death. It's that easy. And so we kill Mephisto, and he drops stuff. And there's a chance of good stuff. And you saw that run take like 30 seconds. I always like to hit this armor stand. Sometimes it drops a good crouch shield or something. And then we hit that chest, because that's a super chest. If you don't know what super chests are, there are tons of videos about them. But they are more likely to drop high runes than any other thing in the game. We end up back in Act 4. And then we can go ahead and hit save and exit. Create game. We make our next farming game. And since the changes, you can make these really quick. Because in D2 Resurrected, there's no timeout for making a new game too fast. So we can create another game. And then we can rinse and repeat and just do the same thing again. So we'll go ahead and go Act 3, Durance of Hate. What I like to do is I like to check my potions. I didn't use potions on that run. But if I use potions, I always restock my potions in Act 4. So this time we have it going this way. This would be to our right, and this would be to our left. So we're going to go this way this time, because that's our left. We're going to eat some pots as we need. And teleport around, and hopefully we'll find Durance 3 pretty quick. And if you run out of potions, you just find a little safe spot. You kind of think about how far in potions are. Or like, here's a good spot to kind of just open up a TP, go back to town, and buy some more potions. So we're just going to keep on teleporting here, following that wall. Hoping for the best. If you die, you just save and exit and make a new game. It's not a big deal. But we found Durance 1. So if you run into Durance 1 before you run into Durance 3, I like to go and restock my potions here. I'm going to go ahead and run on over here. And I know this is the least ideal way, and I'm not using telekinesis. There's tricks to make this a little bit faster. But this is kind of beginner guide. So we're going to read this entrance, and it looks like the entrance is straight this way. So it's going to be straight across from here. Almost guaranteed, but it's not exactly straight across. It's pretty close to straight across from the entrance. So we're kind of going to go in this way. And maybe I went right instead of left, because I haven't ran into it yet. It's always, so when you run into both, it's straight across from there and left of the other entrance. And I may have gone right, because I was upside down and I went to my left. So I may have gone right. And, yep. So I went right, so you see how it's here, and then it's there. So if I had followed this one, that's left. It's my right, but it's upside down, so it's left. So I went the wrong way. But another thing is if you run into that, it's almost always straight across from the other entrance. It's right there, and it's almost perfectly straight across. So where those two rules intersect, you end up there. So this was a longer run, and I used a lot of potions. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to set up the moat. Go say hi to Mephisto, static him a couple times. Proc the bridge. Jump across, and it looks like we woke up all these guys. So now we're actually going to have to fight Mephisto this time. We can also kind of trap him up on this corner here, across this way. But we could also fight him the old-fashioned way, which is just deal with him. Not too hard. He doesn't have a very scary attack. And so you just kind of run around and call it good. But ideally you want to set up in the moat. And as you can see, that time I teleported a little bit too far to the right. And we ended up not setting up the Moat Trick properly. We're just going to blizzard him to death. And we want to grab some things for some cash. And check our little armor stand here. Ain't get anything good.
I need a key.
It's a locked chest this time. I should carry a key. And these guys were here, that's why we had to fight it normally. We'll go ahead and do another run live. Save and exit. Make another game. Apparently it takes a second to create a game today. Last night I was doing like bam, 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 bam. We're going to go restock on our potions and talk to our Dremel guy. Trade. Potions, ID things, and probably end up selling everything. Bone knives are generally not useful. I'm out of those. So we'll take our gold. Go ahead and restock on those. Make sure we're stocked on potions. And if you have had telekinesis on hotkey, you can hit your stash with your telekinesis. And then I'm going to deposit my cash into my shared stash, and then we'll go ahead and do another live run here. Endurance 2. Maybe I can go left and right correctly this time, as it looks like this is obviously left. I'm not good at this. I don't pretend to be an expert. I just pretend to know how to run Mephisto with poor gear. That we kind of hope for the best. Let's see here. Oh, see, there it is. There's Endurance 1, and it should be straight across the entrance. This one does not make sense. The entrance to the tile is actually right here. So it's going to be straight across there. Just going to teleport, and
I need mana.
I'm almost out of mana potions. Must be to the left. We're drifting onto the right side. Make sure to illuminate everything. I'm being a really bad example here. Yeah, see, it's not there.
I need mana. Not enough mana.
I'm in trouble. So we died. We just save and exit and create another one. It's not a big deal. I'm kind of bad right now because I haven't been doing it for the last hour. You get a little bit better at it when you do it a little bit more. Just go ahead and grab our body. I think I hit W. I didn't have my weapon equipped. That kind of ruined my faster cast rate. I don't know. I played bad, but the reason we go back to Act 4 at the end of the run is how far away this waypoint is from where we spawn. Walking across takes a lot of time. So we're going to go left of our entrance, which is going to be this way. It's not a guarantee. It's a more likely kind of thing. So even though we didn't find it to the left that time, we always go left, because if we don't go left, we're less likely to find it quicker. So it's all about odds. Hopefully I didn't wake him up that time. Static Mephisto. And go hang out here, eat a couple pots, teleport across, and I believe all those guys are cold immune, so I'm not going to be able to hurt them. I hit them with static field, that's why they have damage. We're just going to ignore them. Knock out Mephisto, see if we got anything, and grab those chain gloves to see if they could be better than what I'm wearing.
I need a key.
Hit the locked chest, it looks like it was locked. I really need to buy a key, which will be a good example. I'll go buy a key right now. Grab this guy, trade, grab this guy. Not worth keeping. And that's probably not worth keeping. I'll sell that potion, put that potion there, and we'll grab a key. And then we'll have a full stack of keys there. I think you can put 12 in a stack. Yeah, there you go. Now we have keys to open that thing. We're back in Act 4. Go ahead and make game 5. And you just rinse and repeat until you find something like a Shaco or spiderweb sash. There's a lot of things that can spawn off of Mephisto, and the fact that we can kill him in like 2 minutes is really solid. So we're going to go to the left, and since this is kind of an upside down wall, that means we're going to go to our right. And there it is. Kind of follow this wall. Lower him down. Make sure we don't wake up these guys, and then we got them. Just like that. And we're just going to cast Blizzard over and over. Blizzard kind of stacks up, and then start killing them really fast. And then just like that, he's a dead Mephisto. And then it looks like we got some GTs, a heavy belt, other stuff. We'll go ahead and hit this. We'll hit the chest. Nothing good. We go back here, and then going back into Act 4 again makes it so that we just have to hit this waypoint to get back to Durance instead of walking all the way up Act 3. It's that simple. You'll find stuff doing this. I know you're not going to find stuff in this little 15-minute guide. Not guaranteed to find anything in such a short amount of time. But I'll do one more example. We got an Earther's Coil, some gold. It looks like we got a piece of Essence of Hatred. I'll go ahead and make one more. So we have a total of 5 runs because we died once. We'll make one more, and so you guys have 5 runs as an example with a failure, because failures are good to learn from. We have a failure, or 2 failures in this. I didn't navigate right, and then I also did not. I died, so I did it wrong twice, and we're still at it. It's not the end of the world. We're gonna go ahead and go here. We're just going to kind of read this. We want to go to the left. And so at first I thought it was this way. It's this way, so it's upside down. We're going to go to the right again. Follow this right wall. It's to the left of your character's perspective. So not your perspective, your character's perspective. And it's kind of like a clock. Go counterclockwise. Teleport here. We'll make it eventually. There's Durance 3. We're going to follow this wall, like I say. Following that wall guarantees that you don't wake up the guys in the middle. Just going to teleport here and then go across the moat. I always walk this last little bit because it's really easy to teleport too far. Because there's some council members hanging out right here, and I'll kind of show you guys the layout of this room on this run. I don't think I woke anything up. So there's a council member down in here, kind of in this area. I'm gonna make sure that I have my exit squared away first. Show you guys kind of the layout of the room. We grab anything that looks like it might be worth money. So this room is always the same. It doesn't change. There's a couple variances in the way that the things spawn, but there's always a council member in here, Y-end. There's always a pile of them. They're either sleeping here or right there. And what can happen is when you cross this, because they spawn right here, when you teleport up, you can wake them up. And then if you're too far this way, you can kind of drag them over here, and then they'll be able to see you when you're over here, and then you'll get in trouble. You can Moat Trick these guys too, but they summon Hydras, and it's kind of a pain to deal with them. And then there's one more council member in here, and that's Mapper Dragon Hand. So these council members, although they drop really well if you want to fight them, they are really hard to fight with a poorly geared sorceress. So we're just going to skip them, and they also like to spawn cold immune a lot, meaning that it is possible that they're not able to be killed. And that map is always the same inside of the inside Durance 3. It doesn't change, aside from those minor variances that happen every now and then. So one more run. It's like candy. You just want one more piece because they're so short. You can just sit here and, one run right after the other and find stuff. I like to do this from like level 70 to 80 to magic find at the beginning of a season. It's a really good way to get your initial bit of gear and a really good way to get started in the game. It kind of teaches you how scary hell is and all that. So we're going to the left, which is going to be to our right again. You see the tile is kind of facing this way. To come into that tile, you got to go this way. So we want to go kind of follow the wall here. So we found Durance 1. It's going to be straight across from the entrance here. entrance is this way. You can kind of make a cross section. We got some mana shrine. I like those. Oh, I got greedy. There's fanaticism. That's scary. And there it is. Right there. Followed kind of both the rules. Again, we're going to wake up these council members on the side. It's okay if we wake that guy up. Go ahead and static him a couple times. Sometimes we can get away with more. And then we're moated. I'm just gonna kill Mephisto again. Super simple. Super easy. He just dances there on the steps. Can't come across. And it looks like we got nothing that time as well. Like this is a repeat of the last one. Ooh, it's a locked chest. Nothing good. And I know by example, this didn't find a lot of stuff, but this will find things. I found Shaco's offer. I found Talrasha amulet. I found spider webs. I've found all kinds of things. It doesn't drop something like the super high level stuff, but it does drop a lot of like the Oculuses, the Shoot's Tempers. It'll drop. It won't drop a Death's Web. Death's Web is too high, but I believe it's eye level 88 and below, which is most things. It'll drop your SOJs. It'll drop your Viper Mages. It'll drop Shakos. It'll drop Umbriel Shields. It'll drop War Travs. It'll drop Chanseys. It'll drop Gold Wraps. It'll drop all kinds of things. It drops most of the useful things in the game. I believe it can also drop HOZ, which is the Herald of Zikarum Paladin Shield as well. So a lot of really useful things can drop off of that boss. Make sure you guys fly fun. Enjoy your time playing. And I hope this was a good little demonstration on how to farm Mephisto. And keep on bringing people up and helping each other out. And I will see you guys in the next one.